Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, I'm Alison. If you guys are into fashion, beauty, lifestyle, foundation review, and hauls video, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below and also click that ring bell button so you won't miss any new upload on my YouTube channel. And if you guys haven't followed my Instagram, go ahead and follow my Instagram because whenever I'm not on my YouTube channel, I'm always on my Instagram. So make sure to give it a follow so you guys will see closely what I do every single day. I upload my story every single day and also post on Instagram very often for fashion and my lifestyle. So if you guys are interested on my personal life, you guys can give it a follow. So for today's video, we're testing out another foundation. So this foundation, it gets really hyped up on TikTok and it has been really hard to get my hands on this just because Sephora and Ulta are also out. I have to go onto their website to purchase this balm and test it out for you guys. So this is a KVD Good Apple Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm. This is a foundation balm that we're gonna test it out. It's not something that we usually test out. We test out a lot of liquid foundation and some of the compact powder foundation, but a foundation balm is my first time trying it out. So if you guys are interested how this works on my oily texture and acne prone skin, then let's keep on watching. Alright guys, so for the foundation we're testing out today, it's called KVD Beauty. I'm not sure if they did a rebranding on their name. They usually call KVD. I'm not sure is that how you're supposed to call the name now because everywhere it says KVD, and I think they rebranded the name for more of the products that is cruelty free and more environmental friendly for the product that they make with this packaging. So I'm not 100% sure. You guys can do a little research on that. So this foundation is called Good Apple Skin Perfecting Hydrating Foundation Balm. So with this foundation, it was so hype, and I feel like nowadays with a lot of beauty products, it gets really fast hype up on TikTok, and I'm not always a person that who check on TikTok and who watch all the TikTok videos. So I'm pretty late on the game and everywhere is so out just because TikTok mentioned it. And a lot of people create videos about this foundation balm. So that is why it's so out at Sephora.com and Ulta.com. So I have to purchase it on the KVD website. So if you purchase this on Sephora.com, it retails for $38 and it comes in 0.35 fluid ounce, and typical foundation usually in 1 fluid ounce, but consider this is more like a solid foundation instead of more liquidy foundation. So that is why the product is significantly a lot less than a typical liquid foundation. So on this foundation, it comes in 40 shades on the Sephora.com, and this is a beautiful full coverage hydrating foundation balm with lightweight long wear formula and a fresh matte finish in a fully recyclable packaging. So this will give you a full coverage matte finish. It's a cream foundation. So the highlighted ingredients on this is apple extract nourish your skin, sodium hyaluronic is help to hydrate your skin. So this foundation infused with skin nourishing apple extract, this non-comedogenic foundation balm minimizes the appearance of pores and gives skin a smooth and healthy looking. The non-cakey, flashback free formula quickly covers blemishes and discoloration for a speedy confidence boost. So this foundation, it claims to be good to your skin and the planet. This product comes in an innovation compact that's fully recyclable, no mirror, no magnets, and no metal. Alright, so that is all the claim with this foundation, and now let's get into the testing. So I've never used a foundation balm, and my favorite way to apply my foundation is kind of like a liquid foundation. It blends easily, gives me the coverage, and it feels lightweight. And compared to a compact foundation powder, I usually just stay away from those. But those typically I will use it for touch up and not just by itself. So a balm foundation is very new to me. But I saw a lot of people either using a brush or a sponge. So today I'm gonna test it out and use one side with the sponge. So I have a dry sponge right here, and let's get the product out. So this is what it looks like. It looks like the product, it takes off very nicely and easy. So I'm gonna do one side of my face. By the way, I'm using the shade Light 12, if you guys are wondering. And I did a lot of research on the website and do a lot of comparison how it looks with the shade match. So hopefully this will match my skin tone. You guys can see. Actually, it matched my skin tone perfectly. Hopefully it doesn't oxidize. And a little goes a long way. You guys will see my skin, it gives me like a full coverage finish. Instant full coverage. You guys will see it kind of covered my microblading very quickly. I don't have any tattoo to try it out to see how the coverage is, but I have a lot of acne, so that is something that it helps to see what the coverage it gives. Ooh, I actually love the way of using a sponge because It just blends very nice and it gives me an instant coverage. You guys see my skin have a lot of blemishes on this side, and you guys will see it all cover it up instantly. I only dab it once or twice, I would say, and you guys will see all the coverage. It gives me its full coverage. I'm pretty shocked. And you guys see bare skin, a lot of redness. And with this on my skin, with a full coverage, I can tell why people are making TikTok video on this, because it just gives you an instant coverage right away. But today I'm here to test it out for you guys to see how it works throughout the day for acne prone skin, for oily skin, and texture skin. But it is amazing to see how it gave me an instant coverage within a second, and compared to my bare skin, and considering how easy to use it and it gives you an instant coverage within a second, it's crazy. So now I'm gonna use it on one side of my face with a brush to see how it blends. Would it give me a full coverage? And I typically don't like using a brush, but with this product we'll see how it goes. So you guys can see it gives me an instant coverage on my blemishes. So on my chin area, you guys will see I have a lot of redness, and boom, it takes off easily. Did you guys see that? It's insane. I don't think I have tried on any full coverage of foundation for a while now. So blending this in with a brush, it feels like it gives me a little bit more of a matte finish, but at the same time it kind of enhances my pores a little more compared to this side of my face. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. So it gives me a little bit more of a matte finish on this side, definitely compared to using a sponge. It gives me more dewy and a more natural finish on this side. This is what it looks like. So I personally prefer using a sponge. It gives me a lot coverage, give me instant coverage, and then a little goes a long way with using a sponge. I feel like with a brush I have to go in and dab it more to get the coverage. So here I'm gonna go in with a sponge from the last application on this side of my face. I haven't dipped it in because there's a lot of product on the sponge, and you guys will see the instant coverage. Alright guys, so this is it. I already applied two sides of my face and it gives me a full coverage instantly. I was pretty shocked, and I can tell why TikTok people are making this video, because it just boom right away for 1 second, and a little goes a long way. I never tried any like balm foundation, so once the foundation it pick up, it looks like this on the pan and it picks up easily. A little goes a long way. So now I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and I'll come back and give you guys my first impression on this KVD beauty. Alright guys, so I'm back with the full face makeup on, and it has been about 30 minutes. I'm gonna give you guys my first impression, how it wears and how I feel about this foundation. So first off, as I apply this foundation, you guys see earlier I was loving this foundation. It gives me instant coverage. It makes my skin looks really good. It just makes me happier to see my skin with full coverage, and it doesn't feel a heavy texture on the face. And I haven't seen my skin look this good for a long time, because I do have a lot of blemishes. I honestly haven't seen it for about 2 or 3 years my skin looked this good. So I was really excited about this foundation, this balm. But as I'm applying other makeup on top of this foundation, I feel like this foundation moves easily. I'm gonna insert a clip right here. You guys will see when I was just trying to apply my contour on my face using this brush, it kind of moves the foundation easily and create those little mark on the face. So I feel like this foundation, it kind of moves easily. So you guys have oily skin, you must set it with loosening powder. So I did set it with my loosening powder, and I used the method of a Tiny Beauty sponge right here and lightly pat it on my skin instead of using windshield wiper motion or using a brush that it kind of just like swirl around. So those kind of movement will move this foundation easily. So I feel like with this foundation, you do have to use something like this to apply your makeup. I normally use this to apply my loosening powder, my blushes, my contour, all in one with this sponge. So I feel like with this foundation, it works well with a sponge like this to pack the product in instead of using a swirling motion. And within this 30 minutes, I see my skin texture is slowly showing up on my chin area. At first, it looks flawless, it looks really good, but now that it feels like it's sinking into my skin, and it kind of emphasizes some of the texture, but it's very normal with my chin issue because I do have a lot of acne going on. So I can't wait to see how it looks after the day. But on my chin area, everything looks good and my forehead looks good. The only downside is my between the brows area is showing up my texture, emphasize a little bit more than usual with other foundation, and also on my nose, on the bridge of my nose, you guys will see all the texture, my pores. So that's not normal with a lot of my foundation. I'm not sure why the longer it sits on my face, it kind of show up my pores and it just kind of show up my texture as well. Not sure about that. So hopefully this foundation, it will stay well because I do have oily skin and I'm very oily on my T-zone. So with that being said, I'll see you guys later to chat back in my final thoughts and the rating of this foundation, how I feel about it, all that feedback, and I'll see you guys on the next clip. Alright guys, I'm back for the final check-in and now let's check in. Time is almost 11, so I start on this review at 12:30ish. So I've been wearing this foundation for 10 hours. That's a very long time and I did not expect this foundation that I can wear this long without taking it off. So with this foundation, you guys can see I'm pretty shiny and you guys will see my T-zone is the most oily, and on my chin area, which you guys will see the shine comes through. So after I would say 4 hours more, I did touch up just a very slightly little just because I have to film another video, and I did touch it up on the center of my face and on my forehead area, and that is it. Because it was kind of oily, so I had to touch up on my eye area. That is why I'm touching up a little, but normally I don't touch up my makeup. If I'm like attending an event, I would be touching up, but usually if I'm out the door just hang out with friends and have some lunch and dinner, I usually don't touch up my makeup. But today is another case. But with that being said, this foundation, first off, what I like about it is the coverage of this foundation. You guys will see I was so amazed with the instant coverage, or I should say I haven't seen my face without any redness or acne going on the face. This looks amazing skin. It looks like I have minor breakout and that is it. And this foundation, it just gives it a very nice coverage. It just kind of boosts up my self-confidence in a way with this foundation just because how good the coverage it gives me. But if you guys have perfect skin to start with, I don't think you guys would need this foundation. But if you guys have skin like I do, acne prone skin and a lot of redness going on that I'm dealing with, but I'm not sure if you guys have active acne, how this would look like. If you guys have bumps going on, I do have like a little bump on my chin area. It kind of emphasizes it a little, but right now my skin texture is perfect, and because I did facial, I extract everything. I feel like I need to do it once a month to clean out my oily skin. So that is my goal for this year, to have a nice texture on the face. But with this foundation, if I don't have much of a texture, I would say it looks very nice. You guys can see my chin area where I have the most texture and it kind of separate a little. So if you guys have textured skin, you might have to be aware of. So now moving on to the cons of this foundation. First off, with oily skin, I feel like you really have to prep your skin really nicely because it does get you oily throughout the day. So I don't think this foundation is something that you're gonna wear throughout the summertime for about more than 8 hours more. I would say you might have to touch up in the middle of the day, but still after you touch up, it still looks really nice after another 4 hours wear. So with oily skin, you do have to be aware of this foundation doesn't last you very long. It really depends your needs on this foundation. If someone that I have a lot of redness and acne prone skin going on, I want that coverage, but in a way that it feels very lightweight, then I would suffer by touching up throughout the day and still have this makeup look very nice and full coverage. And for this foundation, it claims to be a matte finish. I wouldn't say it's a fully matte. I would say it's more like a semi-matte finish. Definitely you can still feel a little tackiness on the skin after you set it with loosening powder. Again, oily skin, you must set this with loosening powder. The way that you want to set it is using a sponge like this, or your sponge, your regular sponge, to dab in your loosening powder instead of swiping motion. So earlier today, I was trying to blend out my contour, and you guys can see the clip earlier. The foundation, it does move around, so be aware of what you put on top of this foundation. Make sure you're using a dabbing motion. Again, I use this sponge to apply my contour and blush as well. Very lightly just dab it onto my skin. So earlier today, I was wearing my mask, and you guys will see the foundation, it takes off around my nose area. And I would say with oily skin with this type of foundation, once you tap your finger onto your face, it will just take up very easily. So be aware of not touching your face, and also with the face mask, it does take off easily with the foundation and you might have to touch it up. So that's the downside of this kind of a balm foundation. And as this foundation settling into the skin, I feel like the color is kind of changing up a little, very slightly throughout the day. I feel like it's gonna change into a different color than my neck color. If you guys will see the first application, the foundation, it matched perfectly with my skin tone, but I feel like it's slowly getting a little peachier or a little slightly darker on the face. So now coming along to the rating of this foundation, and you guys know I'm a harsh grader once that it comes to foundation because I don't have good skin to start with. So foundation is really like my main purpose of doing my makeup, to give me a very good looking skin. So it really depends of your skin type and what you need, what kind of skin type you have that you need your foundation to accommodate with. So for me, I like to have a good coverage, but at the same time, it doesn't separate through the day. It wears well throughout the day and the coverage is still on. So that is what I'm looking for with a foundation review test. So this foundation, I would give it about 8 out of 10. And the reason I'm giving it 8 just because this foundation, I don't think I can wear it throughout this really hot summer time. And the reason I'm giving it a 8 is because I really love the coverage. I love the blendability. I love how instant coverage that it gives me. It looks like I have a perfect skin. Considering this is a full coverage foundation, it's pretty lightweight, I would say. I don't feel like I have a heavy foundation on my face. So with this foundation, it's kind of like a balance, like a sacrifice of if you want a good skin, this might not be the foundation for you to wear through the summertime. You might have to touch up every 4 hours mark. But would you rather to touch up your face to make your skin look good at the same time? Or you have something else that it works better for both? And now that we're slowly going into the summertime, and I feel like I can try this out and see how it works in the hot day, I make sure I'm gonna have it set very well with my loosening powder and have my compact powder that I would bring along with me. So I will give you guys a feedback in like 2 to 3 months when the weather is getting hotter. But right now I do love this foundation. It's just that I don't think this foundation I can wear it for more than 5 to 6 hours mark without touching up. So that is the only downside. But again, I know someone would rather spend your money to something that it works with your coverage and the wear time. So that is why I'm here to give you guys my review on this foundation, or I should say foundation balm. So this foundation, don't get me wrong, I love it. I love the coverage. I love how it blends. I love how it works. It's just that the foundation is something that it doesn't work with my skin type, and it does take up easily if you're wearing a mask constantly. The coverage is gone instantly. So that is the only downside of this foundation. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy watching my review and hope this is helpful for you guys. And if you guys like this type of video, don't forget to subscribe down below. Also follow my Instagram account so that you guys will keep track on my daily lifestyle update. I'm always on my story and my Instagram posts, so make sure to give it a follow. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.
Well, it doesn't matter to me anymore.